Good morning, it's Mary McIndoe again. I hope everybody's having a great day. It's a beautiful Sunday here. A little overcast, but no rain expected, so it's a good thing and not a good thing. But at any rate, where I left off last night with the journal is I think I had put a lot of this on. I think I added a few more little bits and pieces, a thing that said journal, a butterfly here. I think that's all I added to the front cover from what it looked like last night. And on the back cover, I added these two pieces. I don't think I changed anything on the back cover. I did go ahead and apply Mod Podge to the front of the journal just to see if it took the shine away or if I needed to actually go the trouble of the clear gesso. And it looks like Mod Podge did a fine job of removing most of the gloss. There's still some gloss, but I'm happy with it. So then on the inside, I went ahead and kept working because I knew it was just pasting and me dealing with the frustration of the washi tape I was using. And I will say this, that the washi tape, the Fabri-Fix did not make a difference in terms of sticking. I think this I feel is stuck on very well. This is stuck on just as well. It hasn't been Mod Podged, and it's completely stuck down. No signs of anything pulling up, except for maybe around the edges. And I went through and cleared some of that out. I also stitched around the outside of the front and the back. So our next step is going to be to put our pages that we looked at yesterday, that are right here, put our pages in the center of the book, exactly where we want them. Okay, and when we're happy with their placement, we're going to get about halfway. That looks about right. We're going to take a clip and clip it on. I'm going to have to get up to reach the rest of my clips. I think they fell. I'm going to try to stay in frame fully this time. We'll see how that works. I think holding things this way is probably a better way of orienting the screen or the envelopes in the screen. These are just little clips I got at Hobby Lobby, or not Hobby Lobby, at Tuesday Morning. Tuesday Morning was my favorite shop of choice before COVID. Honestly, since COVID, I rarely go out shopping. I have gone a couple of times. Right now what I'm doing is I'm just smushing the centers in so that we're sure we have a good, that they're pushed down into the book just as far as they can be. This up, this down. And now I'm going to put the clips back on. I don't know if that made any difference, but I've certainly seen it done by some of the more experienced journal makers of the world, and I have to be like them because I want my stuff to turn out just as nice as theirs does. Now, again, not being prepared, I'm going to pause it and start over in just a minute to finish up inserting our junk mail pages into our cover. And to do this, I'm using a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, which I've never done before, but I've done the 3-hole lots of times, so hopefully it's not going to be that different. What I've done is I marked the center right here, and then I marked a 1/2 inch from this one end and a 1/2 inch from this end. And then I measured half of the distance approximately between the two to come up with my 5 holes that I'm going to need to make through both my envelopes and my folder, my cover. And when I do this, I use an old phone book because you can get the papers down there into the crevice. And I've got 1, 2, I think I shook the camera just then, and I apologize, 3, 4, and 5. Oops. Now I know when Rita did hers, Rita's kind of who I'm following, Rita Jensen, and doing this, she left additional string because she was using twine, which is a little bit thicker. She was using twine to bind her journal, and I chose not to use twine. I am instead using it's cotton pearl, made by DMC, and I got it at a local thrift shop, so I consider that recycled or repurposed or reused. So I've got my hole in the center, and I'm going to leave my threads in the center. I've got it doubled up just because the holes are a little on the big side. And this piece does not come out, okay? Then you go to the outside, and from the outside, you go in to the second hole up. And you bring it taut. And then you bring the next one into the top hole right here, which hopefully will work. Let's see, there I go. So now you've come up, you're basically making a figure 8 on the top half. Here is the way I kind of looked at it when I looked it up. You've got the thread coming up here to make the top half of the 8 loop. Now you're going to bring your needle back through this hole here, and you're not wanting to split your threads. I hope I'm staying pretty much on screen with this. So there we go, coming up through this hole. Looking to see if it's taut on the back. I can see one of my threads, because I'm using 2 threads, one of my threads is not quite taut. There we go. So now we have that on the outside, and we're going to come back down, and we're going to go, instead of through the center at this point, we're going to come up and go down through the middle hole on the bottom, and in it goes. And again, you're wanting to make sure everything is tight. Backside, it looks tight. Okay, so now you're going to come back in through the top hole, which is hard to see, but I can see it. I could see it. Bring this through, make sure it's tight on the back. Go back through this hole. Tightening everything up as you go. It's easier to do it as you go than at the end, although you can always tighten at the end as well. Now, you're going to come back up through the middle, and what you're going to want to do is come up on the other side of the center thread that's there. So we're going to go in through the middle, trying not to split the threads. Let's see. There's the middle hole. Did I split the threads? It looks like I might have. Over here, out of the way, and we'll try one more time, coming up through the back, and there, it looks like we did okay that time in terms of not splitting the threads. I'm going to pull it tight. This is our last chance to take a look at the tightness of everything, and we're going to just tighten up all aspects of this binding, the stitching for the binding. So that looks pretty tight. Looks pretty tight in here. We're on opposite sides of the middle string, and we're going to come through and we're going to make a double knot. Come through first, going this way, over top, and the second time we'll take the short half and go over top and tighten it down. And that knot should be good. I am going to do it one more time, just for safe measure. The knot, tie it tight, and now you've got these 2 ends. And I had tied a knot to keep the 2 threads together while I was doing this, so I'll just tie a matching knot here. I may end up cutting these strings off, don't know, but for now, that's what we're doing. The next step is you can close your trusty phone book, and we're going to remove the clips, and we're just going to check the pages now. Make sure everything is connected. And down on this, pushing down, making sure everything is flat. Go through this back half in the same way. Just checking for any problems that might be there before you move forward. Okay, so now we're ready to start making our inserts for these pockets. And for making my inserts, I've collected a number of things. Among them, I've got, and I already cut these up on my guillotine cutter. I've got a number of pieces of cardboard that came on some ice cream, or not, they're not ice cream, but some fruit bars that I enjoy eating. Again, a part of a Kleenex box, Kleenex box, Kleenex box. All of these things. And then here's my ideology tag. Let me get it where you can see it, my ideology tag. That matches the first one I did, which I'm hoping will fit in one of these pockets. I guess I should try that out if I have them here, and see how that goes. See if it fits in something. It was about the same size as this, so I can see. Okay, so it would fit in this pocket very easily. I'll need to cut the bottom off of this one. So there's one place it could go. I just want to see if there's another place that might work. And this might work in there. It would definitely work in this envelope. So where is the other side of this flipper envelope? It's right, let's see, I think it's right here, because after that is this one. Yes, this is the end. And so I can easily take and cut the end off of this. I need to glue down. I need to glue down this piece here, as we'll be making this into a side loading tuck rather than a top loading tuck. So that's all sealed there. I'm going to add a little bit more right here. The envelope had torn when I was making it. Let me get further up here on the screen. So we got that. And then we're going to just take the scissors, our scissors, and if I can find them, we will make, here they are, we will make a little tuck here. I mean, a little slit here in the top, just ever so slightly. And voila, we now have a place to put this tag once we make it. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and leave my glue out because we're probably going to be gluing some of these. This is the top here. Yes. Okay, so there's that. Let's see. Do we have any other pre-cut pieces? Let's see. We need some other pieces. So for cutting big pieces, I have this piece of cardstock, recycled packaging. So this is a really thick piece of board. I'm thinking it would be good to use it in this pocket, possibly. So in order to do that, I need to make it smaller than that pocket. So I'm going to come down about 1/4 of an inch from the top. You see right here, 1/4 of an inch from that top. And I'm going to mark it at the bottom. And then how far out I want the tag to go. One thing about this particular journal is you don't want to make your tags go all the way to the bottom of the envelope. You want to, have some play in them, so you don't want to measure from, say, right there to where you want it. You want to come out a little bit from there. So looking at the underside, I've come out 1/4 of an inch. And I think I'd like this tag to maybe come out to about right here. We'll start with right there and see how that works. I did. Let's seems about right. There's something going on the inside here. Well, first of all, let's glue this top part down, like we did on the other side, or we did on that last envelope. Let's glue it down. Apply glue along the top lip and along the bottom lip, and that way we're sure to catch all of the envelope. So now we have this, and we're going to go ahead and put this in. We'll end up rounding some corners and doing things, but I think I like that. I think I like the tag hanging out about that far. Okay, on this one, we can either make it a top tuck, because this is sealed down. And since I haven't had a top tuck yet, let's do that on this one. And for that, I'll use a large part of my Kleenex box. And again, I'm flipping over to the reverse side, and I'm saying, okay, I don't want it to come all the way to the center. I want to leave a little bit of room. Actually, no, we want to go this way. This will just be a tuck that, a pocket that doesn't go all, doesn't stick out very far. So we're going to trim right there for that. And then for the top, we're going to, once again, come up about 1/4 of an inch from the bottom and mark. Let's see. I think that'll work. I forgot what we were doing. We were doing a top tuck or a top pocket, but that's okay. It'll be fine. So now I've got this all glued down. Glue it a little bit more so it didn't seem to catch. And then we're going to take just the slightest little sliver off of the top of the envelope, or half the top of the envelope. Very small sliver. There we go. So that gives us a way into the pocket. Put this up here. Way into the pocket. From the top. So there we go. I have to put a tab or something on the top since I cut it flush. But there's our pocket insert for that one. All right. So now this one, let me see if it will work. Let me put a paper clip on this one here that is going to have the one Jim Holtz ideology tag. And let's see. That would be a little big for that one. This one is an up and down. Oh, you know what I did? I cut our slit at the bottom of our pocket. So this is going to be a tag that comes out from the bottom. Well, that'll be different, but that'll be okay, I think. We'll see. If not, I can always take the bottom and glue something to the top. I have to remember to keep my bearings when I'm doing this. At any rate, here we go. We're looking for something that this would fit in. It would fit in here. This one, I think this is the same envelope, actually, that the other one was. Just a different mark. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to add the glue in order to close up on the screen here. Add the glue to go ahead and close up this envelope on the top. We're going to press down on it, spread the glue out best that we can. Again, we're going to pay attention to the top. Doesn't really matter on a side pocket, but still we're paying attention to the top because that's something that all of us need to keep in mind when we are making these journals, or making any kind of journal, is not to get, people, you can sew in your envelopes upside down. Okay, so that'll go in there. All right, so we got those two figured out. Now let's see, let's go to the front and let's just start working backwards. I've got several. Okay, this is going to be a side pocket because it's already been cut that way. Oops, sorry about the camera jiggle. So I was thinking about doing something else with that. Let's see, here is a piece of mail that we can certainly cover up. We want this pocket again we're going to do about 1/4 of an inch from the top, and we're going to make a mark. And then we're going to, okay, 1/4 of an inch from the top, and we're going to make a mark. And then I'm going to measure from here, come down because we don't want it going all the way in. And we're going to make it, well, we can have this come out a little bit longer. We'll go ahead and make a mark right there and cut it there horizontally. We'll follow the marks. It's always tricky. And that's just coming out a little bit. Okay. So now we've got this piece. We've got a side tuck there. Let's do a top tuck on this one. So we'll go ahead and we'll close this up. And don't let me forget to flip my book back around when I get finished sealing this up, so I'm going in the right direction. Okay. So here we go. I flip the book back around, move that out of the way. And again, we're going to make a tiny slit for a top tuck. Just a tiny cut. I don't know what the best way is to show you this on the computer, or excuse me, on the video. But that's what I've done. Cut just ever so slight amount off. Reach in, make sure there's no glue that's down there. Then we're flipping our book back around so our top is facing the top. And we are going to look for a piece. I've got this part of the Kleenex box that I can deal with. I will cut it. Let's see. We want to cut it where it's got room on the end. It's not going all the way down to the bottom. And then we want it to be about 1/4 of an inch up. So there's our 1/4 of an inch right here. Can you see this on the computer, on the screen? There's 1/4 of an inch right there. That's the 1/4 of an inch I'm talking about. And then we're going to come and we're just going to mark it there. So that 1/4 of an inch is going to be split between the top and the bottom at about 1/8 of an inch. So let's see if this goes in or if I need to trim it down some. Oh, we're going from the top. Let's see. Let's see if this can go in. Yes, it can. The only problem is I made it too short. Maybe if I take this piece and I just cut it right here. This is the width I want. I just want to make sure I'm doing the width and not the height. This is the width I want. So I'm going to lay this down on top of here and mark where my width is. And then I'm just going to go ahead and keep this extra 1/4 of an inch because that'll give me a little bit of coming out of the pocket area. So voila, we now have our piece. We'll fit in here. And it feels just a little tight. I'm going to make it a little bit thinner than it is. Just a smidgen. Because it just is a little tight going in. Okay, I'm going to mark this with a T for the top. I'm going to do this on all of them. T for the top. Okay, T for the top. This is the one I have going in the wrong way. So this is going to be marked B for the bottom. Okay, this is the top. This one we already have something made for. This one is one that I need a piece that's not that wide. Is this the right width? Yes, it is. And because it has the top flap, I don't want this to be any taller than the envelope. So I'm going to put this back in, and I'm going to mark where I want the tag to come to. Okay. And slide this on in. There, we now have our tag for that. And this looks like it might be a little too close. I'm going to go ahead and take this tag out. And I think I told you yesterday how I did this. I don't know how it's going to work now that it's tied down in a book. It may not work the best, but we'll do what we can. And just round the corner with it. There we go. And there's a little rip there. From where I cut it, but we will, see the little rip right there, we'll just worry about that later. I could get a piece of washi tape to tie it down, just short term. So that's what I'll do, just so it doesn't get any bigger on us while we're working on this. Okay, so here we go. We can put our little washi away. And what happens when my piece that goes in there? For the top, and stick that in there, and this will pull down. All right, this is going to have to be. It doesn't have to be. It could be a top tuck. Let's see. Do I have anything that is approximately the right size for a top tuck? Seems like if I cut this about where the yellow, a little bit into the yellow over here, then for our height, and again, I've misread the situation in that this already has a slit right here, but I still want to make it a top tuck. Let's see what I've got. This is the beginning of the side, my top, and bottom, side, side, top. And I think I want to make it a top. So let me get some washi out, and we're just going to find some that looks like about the right width for what we need, and we will go ahead and close this up. Since we're going to be collaging on top of it, we don't have to have it go exactly to the end. My washi tape is not going back in its container correctly. Okay, so now I have the washi tape. I'm going to take and run a bead of glue right down the side here. Try not to put any more than half of the washi on the front side. There we go. Rub the glue in so it'll take hold. Looks like I did a little bit more than half, but hopefully this will still work. Let's close this little thing up right here. And then run a bead very close to the edge here. Oops, sorry about that. Cutting board overboard. I'm going to go ahead and pull this over and pulling it down with tape. With glue. So for a little bit of extra hold. I'm tempted, since I ran so short, I'm tempted to go ahead and run another bead. Let me get some less precious washi tape and add it to the side here. Just giving it a little bit of extra reinforcement. Actually, I think I'll just go on the back of the tape with this. I hope this is getting in frame. It's probably not the best way to do it, but I've started it, so I'll stay with it. So I'm just basically making sure all of the tape has some glue on it that'll hold it down. And since I did such a poor job, I'm going to run a bead of tape along here too. And so we're just going to cover the edge of the original washi I put down with this washi. And voila. And we already know from doing the front cover that washi can be stuck to with a simple amount of, let me get in frame, a simple amount of glue stick. I don't have to get all fancy with the Fabrifix. Okay. Piece I cut. I was going to cut to the green. I think this is the piece I was cutting. Let's see what's going on here. There we go. All right, so now we can see how tall we want it to be. I'm going to have it come right now up to right there, just for some variety. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to do what Rita did. I'm going to do a flip over and tear it. So, that being said, I'm going to fold it right here. And on screen. Fold it right here, all the way across. Okay. And then she just cut and tore this irregularly along the bottom. And so you have a tag that goes in here, like that. Now fold over. Okay, so there's something a little different. This one we already have done. This one is a side tag. So for this side, do we want to make it a top one? I think so, just for a little bit of variety. And let's see if we have any pieces that are about the right size. Oh. Is there another regular size envelope? Yes, there is. And this is already set up for a side tag. And that's where we'll put that piece. It's a little narrow, but that's okay. All right, so back to this one. This is going to be a top tuck here. And this is going to be a top tuck, and it's just going to go directly to the top. We are not going to have any extra. So to have this go in, have a little bit on each side, we'll mark it like right there. And then it needs to just reach the top. So we'll go ahead and mark it right there. So this should fit right in there and just go to the top. So we don't have a side cut. We do need to attach this part with some glue. It's been a while since I glued it. It's kind of drying up a little bit. That in there, push it down. And then take an ever so small smidgen off the top. Am I in the frame? Here we are, taking that ever so small smidgen off the top. And this piece, see, I got a little bit of glue where it didn't need to go. That's why I was wanting to do this fast. But I do need to add some glue right here. So I'll do that. Add the glue there. Close it back down. And then hopefully this will slide right in. It looks like, feels like maybe we either didn't cut it straight or this envelope isn't exactly straight, or maybe it's just too tight, too close. Maybe it's supposed to go in this way. Nope, definitely not supposed to go in that way. I'm going to take a little piece off the side. When I say little piece, I mean little piece. This is what I took off the side right here. And at that point, it should slide in, no problem. Sometimes you have to use your bone folder to kind of open things up. So that'll have to have a little tab on the top of it, not a big deal. So moving on along. Okay, now this is our big envelope, or our big window in our big envelope. So I think I need to use this other part of the black piece and mark it for the width. Let's see. This is going to be a side tuck. So it needs to be cut off some. About, let's get it underneath. It's sometimes a little bit easier to see from underneath. It's about 1/4 of an inch right there on the top. So I'm going to mark right here is my cut line. And then we want it to come out to about where? Let's put this in. Let's come out to about, I'm going to say here. You can always trim it down. Let's see how this fits. Oh, I have to make the hole. Okay, so this time I'm not going to put any glue on the top. So hopefully I'll avoid any unwanted glue on the inside of the envelope. And we're going to go ahead and slice off a small strip. And there. It doesn't have to go all the way to the bottom. It can come out some. So that's good. Now we need a little piece that's going to match this piece right here. You can go ahead and take it out and use it as a template. And I did this on a tissue box. Hope I'll mark it on. It's a nice big black board. We'll cut it off. Using this as a template, we'll cut it off here and here. A little bit to the inside of those marks. So that slides back in there. And let's flip over to the other side. The other side of it. And there we go. Something to fit inside. And that one's done. And this one is not done. Let's see. We need another big thing. And this is a side. This is a top. This is a side. Do you want to make this a top? Why don't we? Why don't we make it a top? Okay. So I need to cut off about this much on this side, and we're making this a top so it can go up a little higher. It's the bottom. I'll cut it right there. Now, to make this top tuck work, we're going to close the flap with glue. Because it's tea dyed, I can see, or coffee dyed, I can see exactly how far down it comes. So I keep pulling down towards me. I need to remember up here, little girl. And then we're going to take a sliver off of here. Look at that. There we go. And there's another little rip. We'll grab some not so precious washi tape and keep it from getting any bigger. Okay, and then I think I need to add a little glue right here. There. So that one's done. Now we have this one. This is a side tuck. It needs something rather wide. I'm going to pause and go find, let's see, how much do I need? 1, 2, 3. I need enough for 3 more envelopes, and it needs to just be some junk mail that's got some weight to it.